week. What led you to believe that the retail sales were going to miss, retail segment?
Yeah, I mean, let me just be clear. We're very positive on Amazon, and we're just basically saying that we've published here a quarterly search index analysis, which uses select Amazon-related search terms to estimate the company's retail segment growth. And the conclusion is that our analysis suggests very slight downside to Q1 retail revenue growth compared to consensus estimates, like 100 basis points or 1 percentage point, essentially. That said, we believe there's potential upside to both AWS and other segment revenue, which is where advertising is contained, and those two should offset any softness in retail, especially from a profitability standpoint, and result in a strong Q1.
And what about guidance? How pivotal is Amazon Web Service going to be for their guidance to make up from any kind of weakness elsewhere?
Well, we do expect AWS to continue to do well. In general, we've seen AWS continuing to rise as far as surveys and other work that we've done. Specifically, we recently did a CIO survey of over 150 CIOs, and in our 2018 survey, 90% of CIOs said that they'll spend more with AWS this year, which was an all-time high. Interestingly, for this quarter, the Street is modeling for a 2-point deceleration in AWS, but the segment actually has kind of an easier comparison versus the prior year. So we expect a strong quarter for AWS, and we expect that to be also reflected in the guidance.
And talking about guidance, Jeff Bezos yesterday in a letter to shareholders had some really big numbers. 100 million paid Prime members at the end of the year. They also saw about $5 billion worth of flow from Prime members as well. Big numbers. Law of large numbers is going to stack up at them against some point, especially when you have President Trump tweeting negatively about Amazon and European regulators don't like U.S. monopolies. How do you factor that into Amazon's business?
Well, hitting Prime members of 100 million is amazing. It's an important milestone. It's actually right in line with what we believe for the number of worldwide Prime households, of which we estimate about 80 million are in the U.S. So it's amazing, but not entirely unexpected. One thing I would just point to as far as ongoing growth, despite law of large numbers, when you look at U.S. versus international mix of Prime members, that just shows the opportunity Amazon has internationally as they improve fulfillment in more regions. Not that they'll get to 80% internet household penetration everywhere across the globe, but like they have in the U.S., but it could certainly be dramatically higher.